Goldberg published an article Monday detailing how he was accidentally added to the Signal group chat March 11th, reportedly dubbed Houthi PC Small Group, which included high-profile government officials, including Mike Walls, Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, CIA Director John Ratcliffe, White House Chief of Staff Susie Wiles, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Vice President J.D. Vance, and others. Signal is an encrypted messaging app that operates similarly to texting or making phone calls, but with additional security measures that helps ensure communications are kept private to those included in the correspondence. Once again, no information was leaked of a classified nature. As a matter of fact, no information was leaked at all except to one individual that was not supposed to receive it, which was Jeffrey Goldberg. Obviously, that's a mistake. Obviously, it's a problem. And obviously, you need to get it corrected. And that's as far as it goes. Yet, I've got people on the super text line saying, well, Matt, Donald Trump talked about how Joe Biden would never fire anybody, and Donald Trump needs to fire people. Who? How? Would someone explain to me how this exactly is a fireable offense? I mean, it's an honest question. I can't figure it out. Maybe Caleb has an answer. Hey, Caleb, glad you called.
Hey, what's up, Matt?
What's going on?
I don't have an answer on that at all. Honestly, I couldn't care less whether they took their lunch order through Signal or did anything, because that just doesn't even affect me. Why are we worried about it? It makes no sense to me. And these guys, Walls and Rubio and all, don't they have more important things going on behind the scenes that people want to fire them that would affect, such as Russia and Ukraine deals? I mean, why would we be trying to fire them over a text message?
I'll say this, Caleb. You are among the smartest listening audience on planet Earth. And I mean that, right? We involve ourselves in the minutia of some of the details of this stuff. And as such, we have all of that. I was walking into work today. We broadcast right on the butt end of Music Row in downtown Nashville, Music City, USA. And as I was walking in, some of my good friends who work over at the sports station were out on the veranda. One of them was smoking and the other two watching, and they were just having a conversation. And one of the guys, good buddy, Lucas Panzica, asked me a question. And I don't begrudge him this question, but this is the waterline that we have to get past. He was like, what's up with Pete Hegseth leaking information to the enemies and whatever? That's what he said. So when you get to the point where you're reaching people that aren't really paying attention to the news, and the message that they get is that Donald Trump's Secretary of Defense leaked information to the enemy?
Right.
Right? So I feel like we have to correct that.
Absolutely.
And, we could say that that's playing a little bit of defense, and maybe that's the case. I call it pointing out hypocrisy on the part of the mainstream media, because the mainstream media didn't do any of this for the Biden administration. Of course not.
No, not at all.
So,
it's just, whatever, two double standards, there be no standards at all.
Well,
right?
Right. That's right. I mean, it is certainly a big nothing burger, but we'll deal with it, and it will not be a part of the conversation. Thank you, Caleb. It will not be a part of the conversation in the next 2 days. Let's compare the Yemeni Houthis and what happened there. By the way, no information came out prior to the event. The event was not impacted in any way, according to the President of the United States, or according to the evidence in front of us. Let's compare that to the media response in the aftermath of the withdrawal from Afghanistan. The Afghanistan withdrawal under the leadership, or lack thereof, of Joe Biden and his Secretary of Defense, Austin, was absolute, and Secretary of State Blinken, absolute disaster. Yes, rightly so. We focus on the 13 American soldiers that lost their lives at Abbey Gate. We don't focus on the hundreds, if not thousands, of Afghani citizens that lost their lives. You know what bothers me more than anything about it? The number of Afghanis. And right, wrong, or indifferent, whatever you think about that conflict, whatever you think about what went down over there, and the effort to try to democratize that region of the world and to get after the terrorists and to kill the terrorists. I mean, books have been written. I can do the rest of the show and the rest of the shows until next month on the subject. whatever you think about that, know this. The Biden administration not only abandoned our soldiers and left them to die at Abbey Gate, and it was disastrous decision-making on the part of Joe Biden, Defense Secretary Austin, Secretary of State Blinken, and others, but they also left hundreds, if not thousands, of Afghanis behind that had been promised something. In that region of the world, I don't think most of us can imagine. I certainly wouldn't presume that I can because I've never been there. But I've talked to enough people who have. You cannot imagine how hard that part of the world is, how absolute hard it is, and how tribal it is. You know why Afghanistan could not make itself into a democratic nation? Because no one in Afghanistan recognizes Afghanistan as a nation anyway. The Taliban, none of them. It's all tribalism. Those are artificial lines drawn by people who don't matter to them. So the difficulty in gaining trust, the difficulty in getting people, human beings on the ground, to trust the American people and the American uniform and the American flag, to the point that they provided information. They befriended us. They became agents of our mission. And what we promised them in return was safety. That we will have your back. It disgusts me every time I think of it. It disgusts me every time I speak of it. That we not only allowed our soldiers to die that day, and then when the bodies of those soldiers came home, Joe Biden and his people treated them like crap, treated the families like crap. And CNN didn't have a damn thing to say about it. And MSNBC didn't have a darn thing to say about it. And ABC and CBS and NBC and the New York Times and the Washington Post, they dismissed it. And now you want to get on your high horse and scream about people getting fired over a damn signal chat? Give me a break. I'm not about to be lectured by the same media organizations that gave the Biden administration a complete pass. It fires. Yes, I'm yelling. And it gets me so fired up. It gets me so angry to think of the family members who thought at very least that they would be treated with a modicum of respect by Joe Biden and Lloyd Austin and Anthony Blinken and all of those others in the Biden administration. Go talk to them now. They were treated like garbage. It was something perfunctory that had to be done while Joe Biden looked at his watch and wished that he was anywhere else than where he was. Wouldn't even talk to some of the family members. That's the reality. So all of you media organizations that want to pretend that you can put some comparative tissue together between Hillary Clinton's 33,000 emails on a self-made, homemade server that she created specifically for the purpose of avoiding state security, specifically for the purpose of doing an end around over oversight that she knew existed as Secretary of State. Before you start comparing those emails, those 33,000 emails, to a signal chat that was authorized by national security to be used, you need to talk to me about Afghanistan. I'll wait.